In today's video, we delve into the alarming developments surrounding the United States climate goals as former President Donald Trump reopens the doors to fossil fuel production. With the revocation of clean energy targets and a push to revive controversial projects like the Keystone XL pipeline, the dream of a sustainable future seems increasingly out of reach. We'll explore the dismantling of climate-focused initiatives, the retreat from international agreements like the Paris Accord, and the significant legal vulnerabilities that now threaten environmental progress. Join us as we unpack the implications of these decisions and the potential legal challenges ahead. 1. Revocation of clean energy targets. One of the most impactful moves made by the Trump administration was the revocation of clean energy targets put in place by the previous administration. These targets were designed to transform the electricity sector and increase electric vehicle sales, both of which are crucial for reducing carbon emissions. By removing federal directives, the administration effectively halted the momentum towards a cleaner energy future. Imagine a train barreling down a track towards a destination, only to have the tracks suddenly removed. The train cannot proceed, just as the U.S. cannot advance its clean energy goals without these targets. The absence of clear, enforceable guidelines leaves both industries and consumers without a roadmap for reducing emissions. 2. Expansion of fossil fuel production. In stark contrast to global trends towards renewable energy, the Trump administration prioritized fossil fuel production. The lifting of bans on offshore drilling and the acceleration of permits for liquefied natural gas terminals have increased fossil fuel extraction. This has not only boosted emissions but also sent a message that the U.S. is stepping back from its climate responsibilities. Picture a dam holding back a river. When the dam is removed, the water floods the landscape. Similarly, increased fossil fuel production floods the atmosphere with carbon, reversing progress made in emission reductions. The resurgence of fossil fuel activities signals a prioritization of short-term economic gains over long-term environmental health. 3. Keystone XL pipeline revival. The revival of the Keystone XL pipeline has been a controversial decision, representing a significant policy shift. This pipeline facilitates the transportation of tar sands oil, which is notably carbon-intensive. Critics argue that this move undermines efforts to transition to cleaner energy sources. Visualize a roadblock being removed, allowing for the free flow of traffic. In this case, the traffic is comprised of carbon-heavy tar sands oil, which contributes significantly to overall emissions. The pipeline serves as a conduit for increased carbon output, complicating the journey to net zero emissions. 4. Dismantling climate-focused offices. The dismantling of federal offices dedicated to climate change has weakened the government's ability to address the issue effectively. These offices were instrumental in developing and implementing policies aimed at mitigating climate impacts. Without them, the U.S. lacks the infrastructure needed to enforce and advance climate initiatives. Think of these offices as the architects of a building. Without architects, there are no blueprints, and without blueprints, constructing a sustainable future becomes nearly impossible. The absence of these climate-focused entities leaves a void in leadership and strategy. 5. Withdrawal from the Paris Agreement. The decision to exit the Paris Agreement marked a significant retreat from international climate cooperation. This withdrawal not only undermines global efforts to limit temperature rise but also diminishes the U.S.'s role as a leader in combating climate change. Imagine a team working together to solve a puzzle, only to have one member walk away, taking their pieces with them. The remaining team is left with a gap that hinders their progress. Similarly, the U.S.'s exit from the Paris Agreement creates a void in the global climate puzzle, making it harder for the world to meet critical environmental targets. 6. Halting climate finance. Financial commitments to international climate initiatives have been halted, impacting projects aimed at reducing global climate change impacts. This decision has far-reaching effects, as many developing countries rely on such support to implement sustainable practices. Consider a lifeline that is suddenly cut. Those depending on it are left to struggle. Halting climate finance removes crucial funding, stalling projects that are essential for global climate resilience. The withdrawal of financial support underscores a shift in priorities, with significant implications for international partnerships. 7. Legal vulnerabilities in climate policies. The reliance on executive orders for climate policies has exposed them to legal vulnerabilities. As seen with the swift dismantling of previous initiatives, these policies are susceptible to reversal with each administration change. Envision a castle built on sand. It may stand for a time, but is vulnerable to collapse. Similarly, climate policies built on executive orders lack the stability needed for long-term success. The fragility of these policies highlights the need for more robust legislative frameworks to ensure lasting climate action. 8. Potential legal challenges. Delays in disbursing green funds allocated by Congress have the potential to lead to legal challenges against the administration. These funds are critical for infrastructure and industrial projects that aim to reduce emissions. Imagine a relay race where the baton is dropped. The team loses momentum and risks falling behind. Delays in fund distribution create obstacles for projects that are already racing against time to meet climate goals. Legal challenges may arise as stakeholders seek accountability for these setbacks. 9. Conflict over vehicle emissions standards. The administration's attempt to revoke California's authority to set stricter vehicle emissions standards has ignited legal battles. This conflict has significant implications for national climate goals, as vehicle emissions are a major contributor to pollution. Picture a tug of war, with California pulling towards stricter standards and the administration pulling in the opposite direction. The outcome of this struggle will shape the nation's approach to reducing vehicle emissions, a key factor in achieving net zero targets. 10. Increased carbon emissions. Collectively, these actions have reopened pathways for increased carbon emissions, challenging efforts to achieve net zero emissions by 2035. The cumulative effect of these policy changes resembles a floodgate being opened, allowing carbon to flow freely into the atmosphere. The reopening of these pathways is akin to backtracking on a journey, making it harder to reach the destination of a sustainable future. The increased emissions underscore the urgency for renewed commitment to climate action in the face of significant setbacks.